Good afternoon and welcome to Elevate Your Grind. I'm Aisha Alves, guest host this week at Benzinga, Miami. Today, I'm very happy to have with us Ozwaldo Graziani. Welcome.
Thank you very much. So happy to be here with you.
It's always great to be with you, Oz. And he is the founder and CEO of High Division.
Yes.
Very happy to talk about that today. But actually, when I first met you, Oz, you were head of marketing at Fluent, correct?
Yes, for 5 years.
But that's a lot. That's like forever.
Forever. I always say
right?
dog years. But it was an incredible experience, and that was basically going to college for cannabis for me. Everybody comes from different industries. I come from more the entertainment and television content creation and all that stuff. So I basically stumble upon with this industry. You kind of need to be humble to learn a lot of things again. So Fluent gave me the opportunity to basically build a marketing department. They had nothing. They were starting. It was just a medical. It was actually, they had another name. They were called Knox Medical.
I remember.
And actually that tells you a little bit of the story of the industry, a little bit of what these guys at the beginning envisioned. They were thinking about a medical cannabis company from Florida in 2016. I think that the mistake they made, I believe, was not seeing where this industry was going, but they caught up. They kind of admitted to that mistake very early on. So they brought me in basically to, hey, help us fix this. We need to, change our messaging. And all the brand was very like, the medical
right
that you provide to the DOH for compliance. Like the pictures were doctors with gowns and very sterile. The brand was white and green and very like medical, which is, again, it's a medical industry, and you need to everything that you do, you need to be compliant. But of course, there's a range of things that you can do that can be better or more in tune with the market than just white and green.
So you were the one who kind of drove that rebranding into what we now know as Fluent, that iconic black and gold
yes
image.
It was a traumatic experience. But it was
changing.
It was life-changing. But I say it in a very good way. Right. I think I because again, this is not a MSOs, as are very big. They have a lot of challenges, so they cannot afford. I guess any industry wouldn't afford this, but just shutting down the operations to rebrand and start over. So I always use the analogy that we had to fix this car while we were driving it. We didn't shut any store 1 hour, and we were able in a matter of 3 months to completely rebrand and change everything, and understand that was a process and not just a switch that we had to do. And it was very successful. It was one of the things I feel very proud of doing with Fluent, that you can feel how just that changed the perception of the market, of patients on the brand, and the relationship we started having with them at that moment. That was, May of 2019, if I
2019.
So now feels like a long time ago.
I mean, it was. And let's fast forward now to 2023. Yeah. You are now launching High Division. Tell me more about that.
Well, I'm excited to talk about that for sure. So after 5 years at Fluent, you have to wear many hats as a marketing director. As I mentioned, I stumbled upon that opportunity, but I'm a creative director of nature. So of course, I love the hands-on, wear any hats you need. So I was doing sales, I was doing marketing, I was doing outreach, and getting to know the whole full, vertical operation process. And, but on the other hand, I wanted to go back and do my creative stuff for before cannabis. I had my production company doing content. So I kind of missed that comfort zone or just talent zone of, this is the area where I can actually deliver the best. I love the Fluent team. I still have a great relationship with them. It's not that it was anything wrong, but I just decided I need to do my agency.
Right.
And I was so happy. The CEO of Fluent, Robert Beasley, great guy. He's an opportunity guy. He gives you all the opportunities to succeed, and he has changed the company for the better for sure. He kind of envisioned that as well. So okay, we'll help you out. So we started this company called High Division, and Fluent is my first client, but of course I'm doing many other things with not only companies touching the plan. That's one of the things I wanted to kind of tap also, but a lot of ancillary companies are doing amazing stuff for the industry, but they're not precisely touching the plan, and that's a different game, but a very interesting game as well. So High Division is also working on one of the on not only the ancillary stuff, the service, trying to understand, focus on marketing and creative. So my vision is, let me understand marketing and the marketing department problems, and I'm here to help you out. Is it a creative problem? Is it a strategic problem? Is it an e-commerce problem, a digital problem? And depending on that, I'll build something for your company, and I'm working with companies that have 5 years in the industry, that are in a completely different stage, that a company that is just getting to Florida, that they're like asking all these questions. What do I do? How do I get to the doctors? And so there's a lot of that I can offer in that space as well. So
work. You're doing a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. And it's exciting, of course. And again, a lot of it is focus. And so High Division is very highly focused on creative and branding and looks. I think the cannabis industry is doing an amazing job of getting to the branding level that other industries offer, but there's still some way to go. And some other demographics to start taking a look at and tapping. Women, for example, senior citizens. There's so many other groups, and the cannabis industry is still this leaning male, involuntary kind of enterprise. So now it's like, it's time to break it up. It's time to develop brands for different type of consumers, different type of pocket size.
More inclusive.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, and you bring up an important idea, and this is something that I've been thinking about for a while. When you talk about brands and marketing in general, what we're seeing now is kind of an evolution of the industry, right? Where you see brands really entering the space and, filling out the marketplace. And not only that, but we're seeing operators themselves really creating brand portfolios within their operation.
Makes total sense. Yes.
It's as opposed to that medical kind of like, well, here, this is what you're buying and that's it.
Yes.
You're now having, even in medical markets, an experience similar to what you would see in a recreational market.
Absolutely. And the industry as a whole, like, so to start with with the illegal markets, so that was just a dime bag or just a little bag of, you didn't enroll, no COAs, no nothing.
It is what it is.
This is what it is. You get it. It's good shit. Like that's the best branding you can get.
That was it.
And then you go to medical, and they kind of keep that same approach, of course, with different branding, but one big brand, very pharma, like no branding, no colors, keep it very strict. And that makes sense at the beginning. But then again, everybody's figuring this out. Everybody's figuring how to get cannabis out of the shadows to a legal market.
A true CPG.
And part of the normalization of cannabis is branding. It's just that eventually all this, this plant is going to transform into a different product for a different target. So you're talking about demographic, genders, even the quality of the product. I always say, like, everybody wants to do everybody tells you we're just doing the premium brand, the premium cannabis. But then you try the product, it's like, this is not premium. The fact that you want it to be premium doesn't make it premium.
Right.
So, and I always say there's a big opportunity for value flower. Don't like, there's a lot of, you have to appreciate that there's a market that actually have, they need products that are affordable. So don't just get obsessed with premium, because you're not going to be, you have to understand different price points, different demographics, different targets. And that, as you mentioned, good example is Florida. This industry started with one brand, every type of product, the same brand, and very, very strict, especially Florida has very strict regulations on packaging. Okay. But then, you see the market and the consumer and the patients pushing for what they want, and seeing what's happening in the West Coast and in other markets. Like,
they're more savvy.
I want brands. I want a story behind this. I want something to connect beyond just the product itself. So you see all these companies, including Fluent, for example, but you see it happening at True Leaf, Verano. All these companies are starting to create brands below their big umbrella. Actually, I see it more like Procter & Gamble. You don't buy Procter & Gamble products. You buy Pampers, you buy Head and Shoulders, you buy things that they make, but they are focusing their branding on the consumer and not the company itself. And that's a big dramatic change that is just making the industry more fun, to be honest, and more interesting.
I mean, this moment in time, I can say then is an incredibly exciting time for marketers, for someone like you in general, a lot of opportunity for branding. So let me ask you this then, as we are kind of in this, this stage where we're seeing a lot of opportunity for you, what would be like your dream project? What are things that you'd really love to work on from a creative standpoint?
I have one that I can tell you.
Okay.
Sorry. That is, I would love to make a brand for Bad Bunny. You know, like that's one of the things I'll say. I'm pursuing that. And I know it's gonna be difficult, but definitely, you know, trying to connect celebrities that are really into cannabis and not really just one part of the business.
Bad Bunny, are you watching?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's watching, but you know, I know people. I know people. But part of the challenge, and I'm gonna use an example of another huge celebrity that from my perspective, failed on not understanding the industry. And that's where I can build those bridges to, hey, this is a reality that's going on. And I know you want to build this beautiful brand, but you need to connect it with a license that actually is able to grow the quality products that you're promising your audience. So there's this amazing brand by Jay-Z called Monogram. And when I say amazing brand is how you look at it. If you go to the website and see the products, they're absolutely amazing and beautiful, but they fail to establish a relationship with a grower that can deliver the quality product. And even Jay-Z, you know, Beyonce's husband.
I know Beyonce's husband couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to say they totally fail. I think he has a brand name they can actually try it again, but they definitely didn't look at the product that I'm capable to deliver. They just
the missing piece.
The most important piece, especially in cannabis.
It's not a little bit, it's like
it's the most important piece. So in cannabis, I always say that branding sometimes can get in the way of your reality. So I always say, like, okay, you want to be the premium brand. Let me see your grow operations. Let me see the product that you're delivering. Is it really premium? Probably not. And if it's not, don't worry about it. Actually, there's a huge market that is ready to pay regular products, you know, or value products. So again, it goes to the pricing, especially with this price crunch that's going on. Definitely value products is going to be a trend. It's already a trend in a lot of markets. Is going to be a trend. Now you see a lot, like the leftovers, like the bags. Now you're going to see brands that are going to be proud of saying, yeah, we're value flower. And yeah, you can buy an ounce for half of the price of
the premium
brand, but yes, that's what it is. And by the way, it all comes from a plant that is not exactly monolithic and the same. So it makes sense to break this into different needs, different products. And that's where you see already huge companies doing that process.
Well, I'm excited to see the continued, growth of brands and the enrichment of the brand space in cannabis, not only in Florida, but all over the country. And I know that this is going to help them with the help of creatives like you and High Division to really create those important partnerships. So thank you, Oz, for being with me today.
Thank you, Aisha.
And let me tell you, if you ever launch that Bad Bunny brand,
well,
find a space for me.
I'm gonna keep working on that. Well, it's all about, the celebrity part is the easy part to envision. It's more like, where is a market where I can actually deliver something so viral as having Bad Bunny launch a cannabis product? And there's not many operators or companies that actually can deliver to his his size of audience. So that's where you actually need to that's where you actually need to kind of make sure that everybody are managing their expectations correctly, especially in this industry where it's not that give me more cannabis. It's like it's very limited access to legal products.
Well, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. It's always wonderful to talk to you. I've learned so much just sitting with you. Every time we have 5 minutes together, I walk away feeling more informed. And again, wonderful. Have a great rest of Benzinga, and we will see you soon.
Thank you very much.